The word wilderness brings to mind a faraway place, a place without people, somewhere we can consider undisturbed. We can tap into its resources or fight for its conservation. It can inspire awe or fear, a sense of both belonging and not belonging. We tend to think of the wild as something separate from ourselves, drawing lines to define what is and what isn't. But how much does this place depend on our own perceptions? And how much can a word mean? Cumberland Island is a designated wilderness off the coast of Georgia. It attracts those of us seeking an escape.
Going into the wilderness is kind of like going back in time. And I think we want to escape from the artificiality and the sort of, sitting behind a screen and just, I think it's an escape from everything.
We leave our comforts behind for a weekend of recreational survival. But to enter this space requires preparation. We plot out our schedule on maps and carved out trails as we shoulder the weight of our camping equipment, most of which has traveled thousands of miles from where we're from and even farther from where we're going. There's a nostalgia around our boots and sleeping bags, tents and granola bars, the smells of bug spray and sunscreen melding with pine needles and bark. All of these things collectively belonging to our wilderness experience.
Oh, wilderness is where everything has been left to nature and man hasn't come in and touched it and thrown trash out and cut down trees, and things just happen the way they're supposed to without man involved in it.
With our occasional journeys into nature under threat, it dawns on us what's at stake. The breaks from modern anxieties, the change of pace of the forest, the reassurance of something beyond ourselves. But what bubbles to the surface in our admiration of beauty is the desire to return to something undefined, primordial, instinctual, and unknown.
Yesterday we hiked on the north end of the island toward Plum Orchard, and we saw a grouping of about 15 turkey, which was, it was worth the hike. We probably traveled, 10 miles yesterday. So just, the wildlife in its natural setting is what I enjoy the most.
Within landscapes like Cumberland, there are certain creatures that we favor over others. Certain creatures that we are drawn to call wild. The horses of Cumberland spark the imagination. Feelings of mystery, adventure, and the untamed.
I've watched our ferry boat when it goes out and it takes visitors out. Cumberland Sound, when they get in the intercoastal and they'll start to turn north and head up the south into the island. And literally that 150 or so people on the boat will rush to the right side of the boat just to see a horse. And when they see one, they get all excited, and the binoculars come out and the cameras come out because they're so excited to see that. And there's a mystique about it. So yeah, people love the horses.
There seems to be something that differentiates these hooved animals from their fellow island dwellers. The hogs have lived on Cumberland for hundreds of years, yet as the less attractive of the non-native species, do not garner nearly as much attention and are hunted for population control. We seem to place more value on what we see as beautiful, judging one life as meaning more than another based on exteriors. Our preservation is not so much concerned with protecting a natural state, but an ideal one. Across the coast of Cumberland is a city, water being the only separation between what is nature and what is civilization. We decide which landscapes should be protected and which should be cultivated, which are the most beautiful and which are the most useful. So are our wildernesses determined by our own sentimentality?
You know, they talk about what the wilderness on this island. You know, they've got the sign saying wilderness area. And an elderly lady years ago was telling me, she said, she looked up in the dictionary the definition of a wilderness. And it was land that was untouched by man.
We stand in awe of the natural world, but can't seem to fully understand it. We create partitions between animal and man, intelligence and instinct, human design and natural selection. We designate a place untouched in an effort to preserve these borders of understanding. But have we, in the process, created something that we can never truly enter? Does our very presence in an uncultivated place automatically remove its natural state? Or is it our presence that creates it?
Nature is the way things were before people started disturbing it, and it's been disturbed, but it's as close as we can see in a day's trip from Atlanta, so that's what we came here to see.
After we snap our photos and smile at the foals, we'll continue to our designated campsite, double-checking that we have enough clean water and pre-made food for the night. And here we'll sing our camp songs, relaxing in nature, knowing we'll retreat to the safety of our tents. We'll revel in the lack of human imprint as we toss our wood into the fire pit and discuss how our ancestors used to live. And in the morning, whether the following or the one after, we'll eagerly prepare to return to the very place we had come here to escape. We'll pass through an abstract border from the wilderness to the cultivated, as if we're passing from the mythical to the real.
My mind goes to places that are far away from people, and I think of a beautiful landscape that's kind of, at the same time, maybe dangerous, but also really thrilling and kind of inviting.
Can we actually call areas like Cumberland a true wilderness? Or is wilderness an intangible place where we project our own connotations of the sublime, the mysterious, and the uncontrollable? Even the horses, can we really call them wild when their very presence on the island was and is controlled by people? In our tents and sleeping bags, our cars and houses, we create the image of an impending landscape, one that exists without us and beyond us. At some point, when humankind has run its course, we imagine that the earth will be reclaimed by a truly natural state, an overgrown state of wilderness, and a return to the way things should be. And in this setting, this earth lacking man, there would also cease to be wilderness at all.